Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from SkiEssentials.com. Welcome to our 2026 ski test. Today we're talking about the Rossignol Sender-Free 110. Rossignol's been kind of like changing and tweaking their collection of wider skis, their collection of freeride skis, we'll call it, for a few years now. And it got a little confusing for a little bit. I think that's fair to say. Really feels like they're kind of honing in on what works now. And it also feels like a lot of it kind of stems from this Sender-Free 110. It's been out for a little while now, and it has just such impressive broad appeal. Seemingly everybody that skis it really likes it. Obviously, it's not for every skier out there. It's 110 underfoot. Not everybody needs a ski that big, but the recipe here works really well, and we're seeing that recipe now applied to other skis like the new Sender-Free 100. So I'm excited about what's happening with Rossignol skis in general, and continue to be excited about this Sender-Free 110 because, truthfully, it's got to be my favorite ski in the 110 width range, and I think a lot of people share that feeling. And you end up seeing a lot of them, go to a place like Alta out in Utah and you see this thing like just left and right. So yeah, really cool ski. Lot going on in it in terms of construction. We don't need to talk about everything, but there's a poplar wood core. We get a little bit of metal underfoot. They call it Titanal beam. And then in this ski, we get carbon alloy matrix, this kind of cross-hatching application. You can actually see it when you're holding it in your hand, and you might be able to see it from there. It's kind of pretty visible through here. And then we get air tip too, and to me those are kind of the most important ingredients in this ski. Let's see, we've got a 176 here, a little shorter than I usually ski it, but put it on the scale here and we're right around 2,100 grams. So, they take some efforts to make this as light as they can, but with everything in it, it's never going to be like a tremendously lightweight ski, but not like crazy heavy either. And then the flex pattern is really nice. It's not like jarringly stiff, but it's certainly stiff enough to feel supportive. And you saw that reflected. I think Jose skied it in our ski test this year. I actually think he skied it back-to-back years. And he said something in his feedback like, it holds its line so incredibly well, and it's such a stable ski. And this flex pattern is a big reason for that, because the shape is not it's not intrinsically stable. We got camber underfoot, but there is a lot of tip and tail rocker in this ski. It is, to me, it's a twin tip. It's a twin tip powder ski. I suppose somebody could argue that it's not a full twin tip, but I don't know, it's pretty darn close to being a full twin tip. So effective edge, if you're on firmer snow, whether it's wind buffed or wind scoured, or if you're just on a groomer, effective edge is pretty short. But when you add in that flex pattern and when you're in softer snow, you definitely benefit from the supportive nature of the whole ski. So it's awesome. I've always felt like this thing just checks so many boxes, and you see that definitely reflected in our ski test results year over year. It's stable and it's strong. I've always found that it actually carves impressively well. It's kind of one of those things where you can't be really powering this section of the ski because of that shorter effective edge, but if you stay centered and balanced, it carves pretty well. And then you take it into any kind of off-piste situation, and it's so much fun, and it almost has like a split personality. It has that strength and stability from the build and from that flex pattern, but then this shape just allows for like endless playfulness. It's so much fun. It's so smeary. It's so quick to release the tail edge and kind of slash and smear turns, and that just gives you, as a skier, so many tools for success. There's also undeniably some freestyle influence here with this shape. It is kind of a freestyle powder ski. So if you want something that you can hit backcountry jumps with, do tricks off of wind lips, you're gonna be more center mounted on this ski compared to a more directional ski. It's gonna give you a more balanced feel in the air and all those benefits. So yeah, really cool. Whether you want to use it just as a super, super fun powder ski, like inbound resort powder ski, or if you're going to be going out in the backcountry and like building massive features and doing like switch nines like Jonah Williams or something like that, it is awesome. So, you know, I could talk about this ski pretty endlessly because it's really, really good. And the other thing that I've always been impressed by is often here in Stowe, when you get on a ski that's 110 underfoot, it doesn't really feel like it has much of a purpose here. But I've always felt like this one, because it's so agile and also so strong, it actually works pretty darn well. So even if you're here on the East Coast and you want to choose it as a powder ski, I certainly wouldn't fault you. So that's it. That is the Sender Free 110 from Rossignol. Let us know if you have any questions, and we'll see you out there on the slopes.